You and move this up just a little bit. Whoa, that's a little. How are all of you doing? Hello, welcome to the Rachel Freeman Sowers Live Show. I'm so happy to be here. Tonight is going to be freaking awesome. I gotta put these in. Let me see if it's gonna work. Okay, so hi. Let me know if you're logging on. Welcome. Say hello. Say hello. We would love, my guest is going to pop on here in just a second. We would love to say hello to you. I cannot wait for you to meet my guest. Tonight is the first time we've ever had a guest on the Rachel Freeman Sowers Live Show. While we're waiting for people to pop on, please make sure to say hi. As I'm looking to my right, it looks like you're live. I'm just talking to the people live on Instagram. Let me know if you're here. Let me know how you are doing. I've been talking to a few people, and really, I was talking to a woman earlier this week, and she said, you know, people are really suffering. It's really hard right now. And although, yes, it is really hard, this is the reason why I want to bring guests to you tonight, is because when we are going through these times, it is so important for us to surround ourselves with other individuals who can help encourage us, empower us, inspire us to remember that we are not the only ones out there. Sometimes right now it can feel like we are the only ones, especially if, you know, we've had to isolate way more than we've ever isolated before. And this is the time to really surround ourselves with a lot of inspiration and encouragement. So I'm excited about the guest tonight. We are talking about trust and compassion, awareness, and video, because, you know, here at Rachel Freeman Sowers and the Rachel Freeman Sowers Live Show, what we are all about is empowering female entrepreneurs. And if you're a male entrepreneur, you can be empowered also, and you're joining us to really show up on video just as you, with this ultimate confidence that you can just be there and connect with your truest fans, turn those followers into fans, and also to increase this cash flow. So when we serve more people, when we take care of ourselves, we're able to do that. So I just want to make sure, let me know if you are out there, if you are here watching the broadcast. The reason that I'm saying that is because sometimes there's a little bit of a lag, and I want to make sure that all of you are on there and everything is working okay. Tonight is, I watched YouTube videos to make sure I knew how to bring our guest on here. I anticipated going smoothly, but you know, sometimes you never know. So please make sure to let me know that you are on here, and we will move forward. I wanted to talk just a little bit of a minute about, so I've been really into these eco challenge, like toughest race. I'm watching this one where they go across Alaska in the middle of winter. I'm really into these things right now. And the reason I'm into them is because it encourages me in my business. You know, they're going over like 1,000 miles in the snow on bicycles, which I don't know. I rode a Century one time and I could barely walk after that. Let's just be honest. So when I watch those, it really helps empower me to keep going, because entrepreneurship, which is what we're going to talk about tonight, isn't a short-term thing. I am in this for the long haul. I want to serve people for the long haul. And that is exactly the reason why I'm bringing my guest on here tonight. So I'm not going to waste any more time. We're almost at 5 minutes, and I want to have you experience. Now, in my live, I said, well, you'll probably be laughing with us. I did also say that you probably will be laughing at us. I have to say, my guest tonight, we have been friends for over a year now, if not 2. I can't even keep track. And we have a really good time. So we hope that you will have a good time too. So let's go ahead and get started with the Rachel Freeman Sowers live show and our very first guest. So I'm going to bring on our guest. Hey, it worked. Oh my gosh, you did it. Hi, friend. Hi. So it's going good because I'm nerding out right now. Like this is just how it kind of works. So all right. I'm going to just read a little bit about you, and then we're just going to take off from there. Does that sound good?
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, so like I said, I met Jacqueline at an event that both of us attended actually in LA, and we didn't really connect until the last day. And then I started, which was kind of odd. And then we've just kind of kept this like friendship and this accountability, just kind of encouraging each other through whatever's been happening. Mm-hmm. So Jacqueline is the founder and owner of Homeworks, Etc., a creative lifestyle store. It's phenomenal. You can see a little bit of a taste, get a bit of a taste of it behind the scenes there. She's married her educational and professional background in therapeutic recreation with over 10 years as a maker, creator, and decorator to offer exceptional group DIY workshops and experiences grounded in creativity, connection, and wellness. Her innovative DIY home decor opportunities welcome both adults and children to the crafting table. And I can't wait till she shares with you about the children part, because if you have children, you are going to want to know about it. So, Jacqueline, tell us a little bit more about your business. Just tell us, like, how long have you been in business?
Gosh, I started my business in 2007. And I can't believe I've actually had to do the math on that I've been in business for 13 years. But my business does not look anything like it did when I first started. It's totally changed in so many directions along the way. Mm-hmm. I was a recreation therapist, working at a local hospital, and was starting my family, and kind of got to that point where I needed to make a decision that I couldn't work part-time and do my side hustle. Mm-hmm. Hobby, as I was like, okay, well, this is starting to generate money. So I had to make a decision because I didn't want to work full time and raise two young kids. The whole point was to stay home part time. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I got into it. Yeah, turned my hobby into a business and kind of started from there. So making home decor, I really focused at the time was in nursery and kids stuff. And totally have evolved. And now I am in my retail location in the city that I live, in British Columbia in Canada.
Okay, so I told you she was coming from Canada. And this is what I love about technology, because I can talk to my good friend and I can bring her gifts and her skills and her inspiration to all of you. So I'm so excited to dig into tonight. Now, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about how COVID has impacted Jacqueline's business. Mm-hmm. And yet the intention of talking about this impact is not to focus on all of the struggles, but really how she has come through those struggles and really increased the trust in herself. She's increased her self-compassion, awareness, and obviously how she's used video and helping her kind of shift around. So why don't you tell us what has been the major impact from COVID on your business?
First of all, I remember March 15th, I had to just shut my doors, lock them down. Everyone was told that like everything had to be closed. My business was primarily doing workshops, leading workshops. I had a workshop scheduled like that evening where I had to cancel. I could not go ahead and do it knowing that COVID-19, I was actually really naive about it, didn't really know what it was all about, but that it was this thing that we had to shut our doors for. So, what did that mean? I canceled all of my workshops that were planned for the upcoming 6 weeks, locked the doors, which meant no retail sales. Nobody could come through the door. Hugely impacted, because now where am I generating my money? Not only that, but because I had to cancel my workshops, the phone was ringing off the hook. It was customer service was 100% my role, because all I was doing was giving refunds, because people weren't able to attend the workshop. So, that was a huge hit that impacted my whole entire family, because my business is the sole income.
Wow. So that's a story I've heard several times, but let's just get really real here.
Yeah.
It's not only the business that was hugely, they said they can't hear you. Thank you so much. Okay. Can you hear her now?
Hello. Is that better?
Sorry, this is a little, this is the tech stuff. So sister, can you hear her now? Are you on, Instagram? Let me know if you can hear her, because it could be the microphone that I'm using.
Okay, so
it's plugged in. Can you still hear me, Jacqueline?
I can hear you. Yeah. Do I need to speak louder?
We're gonna take. Veronica said she can in YouTube. Sorry, guys. This is the live stream live. We'll just edit this part out. Okay, so Veronica, you can hear me talking and Jacqueline talking at the same time.
Okay.
I just can't hear Jacqueline.
Oh, you still can't hear me?
Here, I'm going to do this really quick. I'm going to take this off of here.
I feel like if I get closer.
And I'm going to unplug it, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this as the audio. So sorry about this.
I'm going to just keep on talking.
This is such a bummer. Okay, Jacqueline, can you talk to see if I can hear you? I'm so sorry. Okay, Stephanie says she can hear both of us. I can't hear.
Okay.
I can't hear anything. Let me.
Really?
Let me do this.
Okay, so I've got the microphone
This is the real deal, Lucille. I'm sorry.
Audio is on
default. Jacqueline, can you talk now?
Yeah. How's it going?
Oh, I can't hear you.
Really?
Oh man. How are we gonna have a conversation?
Okay, so we were doing so good. We were doing so good.
All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug in, I'm hitting the button. I might have to bring her back because I don't want to lose her. Okay, Jacqueline, can you talk now, please?
Yeah, I'm here.
I was hearing you before.
I'm here for you. Can you hear me?
So I might just have to turn off the IGTV. I'm going to keep going.
Sorry, guys.
Hopefully on IGTV, someone's going to be able to hear. Can you talk now, Jacqueline?
Yeah. How's it going? Can you hear me?
I still can't hear you.
So.
Oh man. Okay. This is kind of a cluster.
You want me to leave and you can.
All right. I'm going to remove you and bring you back in. Let's try that.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
No.
How about I turn my volume up? How's that? Can you hear me now? My volume is like way turned up.
Now I can hear you.
How are we doing?
Okay. So sorry. This is so I'm sorry you can't hear on Instagram. Head over to YouTube right now and watch it. Okay, Lindsay can hear both of us. Okay,
good stuff.
Now, in the middle of the story, I'm so very sorry. Oh man.
Okay.
Lessons learned. This is progress over perfection, everyone. So if you can relate right now with Jacqueline and I as we're working through this tech stuff, you learn as you go. And we're just going to keep moving on. So it was all about what we were talking about. Was the reality is it isn't just the business stuff that really gets to be impacted, but there's also personal things that were impacted. So what kind of personal things were compounded by the business things?
How much time do we have?
Well, now we have more minutes because we're going over because we just wasted a lot of time. But
oh my goodness. Okay, so March 15th, I said I had to shut the doors. On the 11th of March, my father-in-law passed away. So it was a blessing and a horrible experience all in one because our hospitals even shut down. So we weren't, if he had passed away after March the 15th, we would not have been able to see him. So that was incredible that we were able to do that. We closed the stores. My daughter, grade 12, didn't get a graduation. They were all pulled from school. What was that going to look like? So dealing with the stress of 2 teenagers at home. Softball season got canceled. Both of them are like super into sports. So really there was a lot of, and February 14th, right? My husband's last day working his full-time job so that he could join me in the business. We were like, what are we like? I'm making light of it right now, but I can tell you 6 months ago, I was not saying these things with a smile on my face. So those are just a few things that we were going through at the same time.
Just a few. So what I would love to hear, if you are on here watching, and I turned off IGTV or Instagram, but if you are on here on Facebook and YouTube, make sure to put yes in the comments, click the hearts and the likes, because I know that Jacqueline is not alone in this feeling. Like, how many of you have felt like things just keep compounding, things just keep happening? And I did a YouTube, Rachel Freeman Sowers live show about this, about how to kind of shift that focus. And yet this is the reality. This is real life. We're not making stuff up. You're not, just acting in a way that isn't the real you, right? So what have you, how have you built that self-trust and then used video in developing more of that self-trust and reaching your ideal clients? Like, what did video play a role in your pivot at all? Because you're pivoting now. What's your pivot for your business?
So I had always wanted to do video consistently and was not doing it. Just like most of us say we should be doing it. I actually felt like now was the time to step up, because I had no way of connecting with my customer anymore. The only way I knew how to connect with them was in person in a workshop. So I was used to being a leader. I was used to being in front of people, used to being like in front of my customers to engage with them, to really just get them coming back, right? Enjoying their experience. I didn't get that opportunity anymore. So the next thing for me to do was video. That to me was the only resolution, was to do video. So I had to step it up, right? I had to get on camera. I had to put myself out there. I was alone in the store. We had no staff because they couldn't work because of COVID. So that was another hiccup. So literally got the tripod out. I had boxes propped with my camera. Just trying to do DIY tutorials. I was trying to let people know what we were doing. Like I said, people were calling and wanting their refunds, wanting to know what their options were. I had to quickly cancel all of my policies, no refund policy. Well, obviously that's not going to play a part. So I needed to communicate that. So I would do Instagram, IGTV, IG stories, YouTube, and Facebook Live. And I am not fancy like you. I still haven't figured out how to do it all at the same time. So I was doing it individually on every platform, because that's what I knew how to do that. I knew how to do that.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to ask you to turn down your sound just a little teeny bit, because I can hear myself. I think one of the things that we all have to start somewhere. And it, we don't know exactly where that is, but we just have to start, right? It's progress over perfection. And why did you choose video to up it, other than this is what I quote unquote have to do? But what was it about video that was going to help you connect?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So at first I thought it was kind of like that fight or flight thing. Like, it was like, I have to make sales. How am I going to generate income? I know I literally was doing like an auction. Like, it felt like I was like, hey, I've got this here. Do you want to buy it? And I was like, okay, that's not me. That's totally not me. So I just started doing what I do in a workshop. So what is it that comes naturally to me? So I just started doing demonstrations. And then I was like, okay, that feels more comfortable. And then, gosh, week 4, I literally was showing up on camera with a hat on, no makeup, and just hey, how's everybody feeling? Because I was tired, and I knew everybody else was tired. And at the same time, I felt like I was starting to gain a bit of momentum, and also feeling more Like I could just be myself on camera. And if I screwed up, I screwed up. And if it wasn't perfect, and if the angle was wrong, like I actually I started to not care about those little things because I knew those would be hiccups to actually being front and center in front of people. And I think it just was being real, right? Just totally being real. And what I didn't anticipate was that people actually were, what I was offering was what people needed. People were at home, they were looking for an experience, and crafting was therapeutic for people. And that's what I really wanted to connect with people, was that like, hey, you can't come to me, but I can come to you and you can do it from your home. So.
Oh, yes. Okay, so in the comment section, let me know if crafting, let Jacquline and I know if crafting is therapeutic for you. So crafting can be making things, doing art, anything that helps you create and design, right? So when Jacquline first started telling me about her business, the beauty of it is that I knew it was so beneficial then, because I've been a therapist for the last 18 years. And as people move about and kind of be able to express and all of those things, then it's like, okay, I'm processing in a way that really is beneficial. I think one of the things too, and I'm wondering how many of the people on here also can relate to you, and like you didn't know what you were doing when you started video. And there definitely is processes. There's definitely like things that you can do to up engagement and really turn some followers into clients or to serve people better. And yet what you did is you just took the leap. So how many of you have experienced some of those things that Jacquline has experienced, or even like you have experienced on this live? Let's just be real about it, where we didn't know, I mean, what the tech issue was. So we're just going to keep going, right? This is what you have to do, because none of us are perfect. And I'm not sure I want to be. Let's just be real about that. So what were some of the things that your customers were saying when you were bringing these just authentic real life videos to them?
I think the engagement was like sky high because people were at home. Everyone's scrolling through Facebook. Like the audience was there. So when I showed up, it was like I could keep them engaged, and it wasn't always just to sell. It was like literally like grab a piece of paper and some extra paints that you have at home, like doodle, engage with your kids, do an art project. Here are some supplies that you might have at home. You know, it just, and the feedback was just like, they were thanking me. They were like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for that DIY box. Because what we did was we put together these kits where people could purchase. We would either ship it or they would come to the door. Literally, the doors were locked. I'd put their parcel outside the door and they would come and grab it. So it was like contactless pickup. And they were so appreciative. And then I would lead them to Facebook to go watch the video on how to do it, because I would do the step-by-step process. So they could pause it, they could fast forward it, they could not look at it at all if they wanted to try to figure it out on their own, right? So it was awesome because I was a resource for them.
And, you know, Jacqueline and I pretty much talk every single week. We try to talk every single week, every Thursday morning. And I remember when you were making those pivots and you're like, okay, this is just what I feel I need to do. I'm going to trust myself. I know that this is where I want to be headed, right? So let's get back to a little bit of the personal stuff. And what have you learned most about yourself in the last 5 to 6 months? What are those things that you've really learned about yourself?
That I am capable of growing my business, and that sometimes things happen that are unplanned that can actually work in your favor. So just kind of like run with what your customers are asking for. Guys, I wanted to open up multiple retail locations. Like that's where I was headed. I was looking in different cities. I had someone who was going to franchise my location. I had 2 locations. And then like my Surrey location had to shut down. I terminated the lease on that. My the franchise thing that fell through, my other location, like it all fell through, but it actually worked in my favor. And I'm growing my business now without all of that. And it is so much more streamlined now than I ever could imagine. And I never, ever, ever could have planned it this way, ever.
I read something online and it says, you know, really be open to just this unexpected thing that's going to come to you, right? And that's like that abundance and believing that this is how things are in order for us to progress, because, you know, you're right. The majority of the time we have a path that we want to be on. And we're like, okay, that's that. This is it. I have to do this. I have to do that. And then all of a sudden we're needing to pivot because now it's just like, what now, you know, and having that unexpected.
Right. And the other thing that helped me kind of get over, well, I had to get over myself, first of all, because of course I mourned, I cried, like my plan's not working out. Like that's the reality of it all. Was it didn't just transition overnight. I mean, Rachel helped me. I was like, what am I going to do? Like I'm freaking out. I'm going crazy. So it sounds like it's like, oh, she transitioned so easily. That totally was not the way it played out. I don't even know what to say about how, like, really, it's like, how did 6 months go by? You just kind of follow the trail, right?
Right. And you had said a little bit earlier too about how, tell me that thing you said about, you know, things not working out or the path or something about it not being failure. I don't want to put words in your mouth. What was that phrase?
Yeah. I mean, I think my biggest struggle over the last 13 years in business has really been not knowing really how to make my business work. And I wouldn't call it failure right now, but you have to be okay. Like I was burnt out. I was stressed out. I was angry. Why isn't this working? And for me, I had to walk away from it. And I knew I had to earn income. So I went and got a job. So I've been in business for 13 years, but I've had three other jobs in the midst of the 13 years, right? So, and that's okay. It is not failure. That is not failure. All that is it's leading you to a different path. And that's okay.
Yeah. And that's
okay. And sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's like, I'm just agreeing with you. I'm just like, feel like I need to be saying yes, 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 because entrepreneurship isn't for me. And it's never been just this one line. And I think that's why it fits me the best. It's not just been one path. The one path is me always tuning in. The one path is me always trusting. The one path is me always doing and serving. Like that's the core path. And there can be all these different lead-ins. So yeah, it doesn't mean that you failed. You're just on a different path. So like that even sentence, if that needs to become your mantra, if you're someone that is struggling in business or you're wondering how it's all going to work out, it doesn't mean that you failed. It means that you are on a different path now, and you just may be there for a minute or you may be there for a little bit longer, but it is really just a different path. So,
and it wasn't until I stepped away a little bit too from the business, that's where I got my enlightenment, right? That's where I got most of my inspiration and my ideas. When I walked away from the business that I had, and then I experienced something new in another job, and I was like, wait a second. Like I took a full-time marketing position at a hardware engineering company. And I was like the job that I did there, I was like, wait a second, why aren't I doing this for myself? It took a boss to tell me, can you do this for me to help my business grow? And they were like, this is fantastic. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. Like, this is what I need to be doing for me. And then I applied those same things to my business now, which was part of the pivot.
Right. So tell us a little bit about this pivot. So you went from, store, which I think you still do have your store, but it shifted the way you serve your customers. So tell me about what you've implemented and tell me about what you've implemented now.
Yeah. So, I mean, the door's shut. We had no customers. I wanted to service them. So how do we do that? DIY kits, right? So we created, tried to streamline it a little bit. So obviously we offer a lot of different kits, but we started a subscription box. We started a subscription box for kids because kids love art. They were not able to be in school. So every month now these kids get a new subscription box. They can either pick it up from our retail location or we can ship it directly to their door. And what I didn't realize was that I have an e-commerce store and I have video. So I can have customers anywhere in Canada or the United States. What? I don't need multiple retail locations. Like,
I love it. I love it.
Right?
I mean, for people who may be afraid to be using video, it really is the number one thing. I mean, you were telling me a story about the guy in California that called you. Tell that story.
How crazy is that? So a guy calls my retail location and says, "Hey, I just came across you on YouTube." I was like, "What? How did you find me?" "Yeah, I came across you on YouTube." He searched sign painting. And I've got a video tutorial that's like sign painters for the non-creative. This was a man, he wanted to make a sign for his wife for their anniversary. And he found me on YouTube. I put together a kit. I shipped it to him to California. He was able to make his wife an anniversary gift that he wanted with the paint colors. Like, that's crazy. I never would have ever imagined.
And the resources that would have gone towards this other plan that you were determined to make happen, right? We get kind of a little bit stubborn with that, but this is the plan. Yeah. So that's the beauty of video too, and this is one of the reasons why I love it, is because it's just, you just can reach so many people, and you just never know. You never knew that a guy in California would be inspired by your video and want to do something nice for his wife. I mean, like, you just don't know. It's our only job to offer. So I'm going to ask you one more question, then I want you to tell us where we can find you online, and then we're doing the angel card. So what encouragement would you give other female entrepreneurs out there who, it's been a little bit or a lot of a struggle. They're feeling drained, they're ready to give up, or honestly, they're just plain tired. They don't know how much longer that they can keep going or sustain it. What is your encouragement to them?
First of all, acknowledge that if you are overwhelmed and you need a break, listen to your body, take a break. Taking a break and stepping away from your business, and perhaps it means you need to go get another job or whatever it is you need to do to pay the bills, that is okay. That doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean that you don't need to continue your business. It just means that it can happen just in a different way, and maybe over a different timeline than what you thought. It's just a different path. And give yourself a pat on the back for actually getting to where you're at now, to listen to wanting to take a break.
Yeah, so I think that's really important. We drive and drive and drive, and we feel like we have to keep going. And sometimes in order to get that perspective and to listen to ourselves and trust that wise one that's within all of us, right? We need to be able to listen. And when we're driving and constantly stressed out, we're in the brainstem, right? So you're not you don't have a capacity to say, oh, listen, I see this other possibility. But it's really slowing down to speed up. I have a lot of friends who are in business, and I watch this one friend, and it's just constant go, 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 and constant obtaining and attaining, and things start falling off on the wayside. And then there's so much stress, and then it wreaks havoc in other areas. And those are just the indicators that really, if we just slowed down for a minute, we would see something different, just like you did, just like I did, in pivoting the business and really helping, the female entrepreneurs use video and leverage it to the best that they can in their business.
And if I could just say one more thing in there too, is that really, really, really dig deep into your business. And if you don't have a streamlined business and you are literally all over the place, and that's why you're exhausted, really look at that. And if there's one part of your business that you love doing, what would that look like?
Well, there you have it. Like, I'm just saying, the one thing that Jacqueline and I have talked about over and over again is simplify to amplify. Simplify,
Totally.
simplify, simplify. Oh, but you know, my customers, these clients aren't going to like it. They're going to be sad. I get all that. But if you don't keep going, you can't keep serving.
Totally.
And our life is about doing this work and serving so that other people can have the lives that they want to be having, right? To have joy and an ability to create and free their mind and all of those things. And some people like, oh, Rachel, why are you making this so much deeper than it is? But I know it's deeper because I've done this work for a long time. So I am just shuffling the cards right now. And of course, I get this message that says I need to plug into a power outlet. So that means let's just keep going here. So, all right. I know, see, like I thought I had this all planned out and everything. And obviously I didn't. So the card is the Knight of Michael, and it says strong, committed, intellectual, diligent, time to move quickly, choose logic over emotion and sudden changes. So choosing logic over emotion allows you to engage the prefrontal cortex instead of the amygdala that says fear, fear, danger, danger. So let me read this, this right here narrative. So the Knight of Michael is time for swift action. It'll be necessary to move with great decisiveness and confidence. Develop a plan and know exactly how to carry it forward. There's a great deal of activity. This card encourages you to follow your mind over your heart for the results you desire. While you're urged to act quickly, you mustn't act impulsively. So a person who is able to accomplish many things at once, someone with a brilliant mind and the capacity to solve any intellectual problem, strong, focused, committed, and educated. So if you are on here tonight, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, thank God you've stayed this long. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
just be real about it. But what is this card telling you? What is it bringing up for you? Because this is when we need to move quickly, but it's not impulsively, not out of fear, not out of, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I have to pivot. I have to do all this stuff. Just take a minute so that your mind can actually comprehend. And when you are able to comprehend, you see the possibilities and things open up to you in such a way that you would never would have imagined. So what I would love to hear from you is, what is your number one takeaway from tonight? What are you going to take away? Tell us in the comments. What are you going to take away and take with you so that you can keep serving, so that you can keep being the woman that you want to be? And if there's men on here, the man that you want to be. What are you going to cling to in those times instead of fear, but maybe abundance, or maybe possibility, or waiting for the unexpected to happen with just an openness about yourself? So I want to just say thank you so much to Jacqueline here, and thank you for being my very first guest and dealing with all of the things that have gone wrong tonight and coming through it to the end with me. So if you've been inspired by tonight's video, I'm going to edit it, but if you've been inspired, please share it with a friend. We just never know who we're going to inspire by sharing. Yeah. And before we go, Jacqueline, just let us know where people can find you. Where can we find you at?
First of all, before we stop, and I don't want you to run out of power, but I want to give a huge thank you for being you, because without you through all this COVID, find someone you can be accountable with. That's the other thing. Don't do this alone, you guys. Do not go through this alone. Checking in with you, Rachel, has been just amazing every week. And you guys can find me at homeworksetc.diy.
Yes, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So go check her out. Don't forget to check out the children's DIY boxes that she has just launched. You will love them. So as I say at the end of every single video, make sure to stay true to yourself, be kind to others, and always, always, always honor the wise one that is within you. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.